If you guys haven't noticed, I dyed my hair back to a natural hair color because red hair, if you guys dyed your hair any form of color that is not natural, you understand how hard it is to keep up with it. Like, it is super high maintenance. It's always calling for attention. I just kind of gave up with it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna dye my hair back to normal hair color. If you guys dye your hair a lot, you know how damaging it can get after years and years of dyeing and killing your hair. So I was looking around, I was like, well, what's something that's really inexpensive, that's really tangible, that I may just have lying around the house that I can use for a hair mask? So I always have bananas, and I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe bananas would be beneficial. So I googled it. It said that bananas, it's really good for dry, frizzy hair, and it's really good for dry, itchy scalp, and it helps with dandruff, and it helps with the frizzy hair, which is definitely true because before, I could not run my hand through my hair. Bananas are very rich in potassium and vitamin A, making it very nourishing and hydrating for the skin and the hair. And these are some of the ingredients you are going to need: bananas, honey, olive oil, and whole milk. Honestly, I lost my thingy, so I didn't exactly measure everything. Everything was just eyeballed, so I just kind of threw everything together. These don't have to be in precise measurements, but just make sure the consistency turns out right and it's not too droopy or it's not too thick. So anyway, you're gonna mash the bananas with a fork, and honestly, my bananas were not ripe, so you can either pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds so it'll be easier to mash, or you can use a blender. I would actually recommend using a blender because everything will turn out a lot more even and just nicer, but if you're too lazy to do that, I totally understand, and just go ahead and use a fork and mix everything together. So now you're just going to throw everything into the mix: the honey, the olive oil, and the whole milk. And the reason why we're using whole milk is because it's fattier, and so that's a lot more hydrating, a lot more nourishing, just like the bananas, for the hair. And be sure when everything is done that the mix is not chunky at all, because you do not want banana chunks in your hair. Trust me, that's not going to be very pleasant at all, and it's going to be a pain to get out. So it's just going to look like baby food. Okay, so now you're just going to apply it, and I'm going to put a towel around my neck just so bananas don't get everywhere. And because I actually did not make enough for my hair, I'm just going to apply it to the ends where the most damaging parts are. So I'm using a brush because I'm being fancy, but you can totally just use your hands. But make sure that you have gloves on, because I'm pretty sure you do not want your hands smelling like bananas. So I'm just taking this in small sections and applying it to the front and the back of that section, just to make sure that my hair absorbs all of the nutrients. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm just repeating the same steps to the other side of my hair, making sure that the front and the back section gets covered with banana. More nutrients get soaked into my hair because I really want to hydrate and nourish my nasty, crunchy ends. And I'm just sectioning it off and putting it on top of my hair and continuing this process. And now I'm not being fancy anymore, I'm using my hands. They both work perfectly fine, so you can use a brush or your hands. And now I am to the end, and I'm just slapping that thing on and making sure that my hair really soaks everything. Now I'm bringing my hair to the front, and I'm just going to twist it like that, and then I start spinning it to the back of my hair and rolling it into this awkward bun, and it looks like I have a wig on. And I'm just smoothing out the flyaways so it'll be easier to put on the plastic bag. And the plastic bag is just going to keep everything intact, and it'll keep in the heat, so your hair will again be more nourishing. And I'm just twisting the ends right here and rolling it in and tucking it into the plastic wrap. And now I look like a sultan from Aladdin. Not really. There are people here fixing my roof, so you can only imagine how awkward it was when I went out with paper bag around my head. So I washed out the banana, and make sure that it's in lukewarm water, so that way it's not going to be as damaging as if you were going to wash it in hot water. And I shampooed and conditioned my hair normally, and now I'm blow drying it on cool air, so that way it's not going to be as damaging as if I were going to do it in hot air or in heat. clear. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Like I said before, this was not possible, but now it is, so I'm really happy about that. And my hair is shinier now. I think you guys should try it. It's just like a really good DIY thing. I love beauty DIY recipes. And so that is it. I hope you guys enjoy it and try it out. Bye! Why am I brain farting? I can't think. By the way, funny story. I remember back in high school, you know, when the whole, I don't know if this is still in style, guys would have their hair like all the way like this, and I swear there was one guy who would always walk like this. He would even eat lunch like this. Hey guys, people are ridiculous. Then again, I had red hair, so they probably said the same thing about me, so who am I to judge? I'm still judging.